What's going on, YouTube? Been a minute. I had to check in for July 4th. Hope y'all having a good July 4th out there grilling, taking it easy, getting some sun, all that good stuff. I've been MIA for a little bit and I know Streets was asking for a new video. So without further ado, it's your boy Paradox, aka Docs. Just to give an update, what have I been up to? Work. But you know what? A lot of folks ain't got jobs right now, so I can't even get too mad about it. And work honestly has not been super crazy like it was last year and earlier this year. So honestly, I've been kind of knocking things out at work and just locked in when I'm not at work on the other stuff. A lot of what I've been learning since I've made my last video, I've been going heavy into the AI stuff, man. I really think that with how jobs are going right now, there's a lot of potential opportunities for those folks with AI skills. And I'm not talking about how to use ChatGPT and type in good prompts, or you've used Claude Code a few times. I've actually been getting, more into like the agentic AI and how would you implement that into a business or some kind of a specific use case. So I've been learning more about, creating an agent, doing context engineering, and how do you refine an agent? Because I think that's where the biggest opportunity is going to be for AI related jobs. As far as companies are going to start looking for people with those skills, they're going to want people to maybe, implement agents into their business workflow. And agents, you don't just wire it up and it just works out the box and does whatever you want 100% correctly. Somebody's actually got to kind of engineer that. So with like agentic AI, you've basically you first start off with a baseline and you have to keep improving the agent and the tools and whatnot. So a lot of that's going to be where the context engineering comes into play. You might build a rough agent at first and it's supposed to do something when the user says this in a prompt, and it might not do it accurately. It probably won't. It'll probably be kind of a half-assed job. And that's where, an engineer or developer is going to have to look and say, okay, does this agent have the right context to know when users type these words, it should call this tool that does that? What constitutes an acceptable workflow, or what constitutes good use of that agent when a user says this and it uses this tool. So somebody's got to figure all that out. You've got to, actually test it out. So with like agentic AI, you don't have like unit tests and things like that necessarily. They've got something called evals. And evals basically are kind of how you measure the performance of the agent and whether the job it does is a good job, bad job, is this acceptable, and how you keep improving upon it. And it's difficult. Well, it's different from unit tests in software engineering, because with unit tests, typically it's straightforward. Like user clicks this, we expect that to happen every single time. With AI, it's not like that. There's a lot more variance. If a user says this, the AI tool might do this, or it might do that, or the user could word it a different way. There's way more variance. So when you're implementing agents, you need a developer and engineer who can essentially try to figure out what that is. Like when user says this type of thing, what should the AI tool do? Is that what it's supposed to do? Is there a better way to do it? All that sort of thing needs to be captured. So I say that just to say that there's a lot of opportunity, I think, with learning a lot of this AI stuff. So for me, it's actually been really helpful because I found out somebody at my gym, he's actually works for an oil and gas company, and he's like a director level at his company for like their new AI department. So he's actually in charge of hiring people that are data scientists, AI ML engineers, data analysts, and there's like another couple position. I guess with what I'm doing, it's more what they call just an AI engineer. So you don't really have to know like you're not training the model. You're not trying to, you're not doing anything with the actual model and algorithms and stuff like that. It's more of actually implementing an agent and refining that agent. So there's a lot of different kind of areas in the AI field right now, and there's going to be some overlap with skills. Like all of them, you got to know Python, you got to know SQL, and you got to know about the other niches, like at least at a high level. Even if you're not working in it, you have to know how it works. But that's something that this guy I know from my gym, because he hires people in this field. He's really been helpful with, giving me resources for all the AI stuff. Like he was telling me about OpenClaw and all this stuff with agentic AI tools probably 6-7 months ago. He put me onto this YouTuber called Alex Finn, who always does these great AI tutorials, and which that has put me up on this new AI related tool called Hermes, which lets you do a lot of stuff with orchestrating agents and whatnot. And I said to say that this field is really fast moving right now. Like the tools that they were using a year ago even are kind of outdated in a sense. So it's good to have somebody that's kind of in the know on the bleeding edge of stuff, putting me up on game. So that's what I've been doing. I've been spending most of my time just trying to learn that stuff. In addition to that, I cranked out another app. I made an app that's an Instagram caption generator called CaptionCaptain.com. So made that probably a few months ago. Unfortunately, it hasn't really taken off. So it's just something to have under my belt that I built though. So it was cool to build that. And the ironic part is the app that I don't promote anymore. I don't know if you guys remember a few videos ago, I launched essentially just a basic job tracker application called careerhound.ai. I don't even advertise that or tweet about it, and I haven't in months. But for whatever reason, the past 2 months, that site is getting tons of traffic. I want to say every week I get about 16 users, something like that, signing up now. So careerhound.ai is up to like about 300 users, and I'm not really sure why, but it's kind of cool, just to have something that I'll essentially use as a portfolio piece, for any other future jobs that may come up. So I could be like, hey, I built this app. It's got hundreds of users on it. That just kind of adds to some credibility to actually show, I shipped something and it's actually got real users on it. So that's been kind of cool. It'd be much cooler if it wasn't a free application. It'd be cool if it was something where I actually had made it to where users pay for it. Having 300 users, it'd be cool to get 10% paying. But again, that app was essentially just like a showcase just to get something out there, test the waters. And the first 6 months had like no traffic, but past few months, I don't know what's going on, but people are checking out the app. So I'll take it. Outside of that though, things kind of like I've been talking about, I've been saying since 2024, you got to lock in. It's time to boss up. It's time to focus. All that, kind of playing around and all that stuff, that's dead. You got to separate yourself from the nonsense. The economy's getting worse. Jobs are getting more and more scarce. Like at this point, you really got to be about it. So that's just something I've been up to. I've been taking that to heart, really going hard with the AI stuff, building my own apps, and constantly trying to learn and evolve. And, something I've come to notice is people really do not like it when they see you trying to do better. It's like I used to live in Milwaukee. I remember when I first moved to Houston and people were like, oh man, when are you going to come visit? When are you going to come back and visit? I'm like, hopefully never. But if I do, it's going to be like every couple of years, I'll touch down for like a day or two, see moms, then I'm out. And I still get people like that asking me when I'm going to return and all this stuff. And then they get kind of mad. You could tell they think like, oh man, so you too good for Milwaukee now? It's like people see you trying to do bigger and better things and they get mad that you can't just hang out with them in the hood and chill and drink and hit the bars and all that stuff. It's like, no, man, I'm trying to level up. Like, I don't got time for that. Same thing with stuff online. Like some folks just sit online on the internet all day and, you remove yourself from that type of thing because you want to, get on your grind and learn stuff. And they mad at you because you're not sitting in Discord making memes all day and all this type of goofy stuff. It's like, this ain't doing anything for me, man. I got better stuff to do. Like I had some dude who I didn't even know, but somebody pinged me like, hey man, this guy's making memes of you getting your pictures from somewhere. Some goofy dude off Discord, like taking my Instagram pictures and stuff and just making memes all day. I had to block that fool. Like this type of stuff we on, like people just sitting online on the internet all day. And these be people 35 plus with families. But I've come to realize a lot of people, they kind of feel trapped with their situation that they're currently in, or they're just complacent. So they go online and that's their outlet because they're not doing a whole lot in real life, So they get online, being online, that's their whole day. That's their version of going out. And some of these people, when they see that, you've kind of grown beyond that, they take it personally. Oh, you too good to hang out with us now? It's like, bro, I'm trying to make things happen. I don't got time to be on that internet type of stuff, bro. Like, to me, that stuff's actually kind of weird too. When you 35 plus and you got actual family, I can see if you're single and stuff, but like you got kids and stuff and you just online all day, like I don't got time for that. That stuff was kind of fun and funny in the past and all that, but this serious time now. But again, like I said, some folks, they're complacent with where they're at in life. They work their job at Jiffy Lube or Pep Boys or AutoZone or whatever, and they just kind of chill all day because, they're not really trying to push themselves. And that's cool if that's what you want to do. But that's not what I'm on. I'm trying to get progressively better, or at least say I'm trying to. So, yeah, you just, sometimes you got to separate yourself from people that's in that complacent mindset and just kind of have that crabs in a barrel mentality. I know a lot of people who are like that, unfortunately, in Wisconsin. Not to diss them, but some people are just cool with their run-of-the-mill type of job, making their 50K, and they don't really even got to think. They go to work every day, clock in at 9, clock out at 5, go home, have some beers, watch Netflix, maybe play the game for a couple hours or something, go to sleep, repeat that, and do that for the rest of their life indefinitely. For me, I'm not really into that just kind of lazy stuff and be doing the same thing I was doing 10 years ago. Like, I think if you're doing the same thing you were doing 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, you're not really trying in life. You're just kind of coasting. So I'm not really a coaster. So, that's just kind of my mentality. So, like I said, when people hit me up like, hey, man, when you going to come back to Milwaukee, man? Oh, you too good to come hang out in Milwaukee now? It's just like, for what? To do what? I remember I hadn't been to Milwaukee in like 3 years. I went back last year for a few days. I hadn't seen people since like 2020 or something, 2021. And folks were still doing the same stuff they was doing in 2020, which was the same stuff they were doing in 2017, going to the same bars, going to the same spots. And I'm just like, this hasn't gotten old to you yet? You're not bored of this yet? It's not like you live in somewhere popping like a New York City or Miami or Houston or, you know what I'm saying? Like, you still going to, I don't know. But again, some people, they like being comfortable. They want to, it's like Cheers. They want to go where everybody knows your name, So it is what it is. Different strokes for different folks. But again, 2026, it's the year to be pushing yourself. I've really been going hard with like learning the stock stuff more and more. I actually joined, I guess it's kind of like a stock club, if you will, to learn more about that probably 2 months ago, and been learning way more about, actually trading and investing and, different types of strategies like EMA strategy, MACD strategy. What else have I been learning? Just different things. I found out this guy that I went to college with, I didn't even know. He's actually like a legit stock trader. He's got something like 5 or 10K followers on YouTube, and he like live trades and all that. He's got custom indicators he uses, and then I've been having other people kind of mentor me on stock stuff, and they've been telling me like, oh man, real traders don't use these indicators. It's all about volume profile and all this stuff. That's what you really want to use to make the trades. And so like my mind's been blown just trying to learn all this stuff. It's the stock stuff, especially if you're doing like options trading. It's not as easy as you think. And I guess maybe it's easy is the wrong word. Like, I thought I understood it at first, but it's the reason why people in that kind of, stocks and finance can make big money. It's not easy. There's a lot of different factors and a lot of things to learn. Like there's a whole bunch of moving parts and trends to try to spot. And so it's been kind of cool just learning about that on a higher level and just, trying to get that understanding. So like I said, between the stock stuff, learning that, agentic AI stuff, and work, I've been quite busy, but I promise I'm going to try to get on here, drop some more videos more often for you guys, but really at the end of the day, I just wanted to make a video, tap in with you all, and, just to give you all a reminder to, don't stop hustling. Even if you got a job right now and it's a good paying job, as you can see with this economy, you can think things are going well. One day you log in to work in the morning, see a meeting that wasn't on your calendar the day before for like 10 a.m., join the meeting and find out you being let go. So you got to stay ready. Don't get ready. Stay ready. Then you don't got to get ready. So that's kind of how I've been viewing things. I view things like I can lose my job tomorrow. So with that being said, everybody stay on your grind, stay focused, separate yourself from the stuff that's not going to better you in any way. You got to get the losers out of your life. So with that being said, I'm signing off and I'm wishing you all a happy 4th of July. Have a good one.